there has been a dramatic new technique of making payments since 2009. The invention of Bitcoin, the first decentralized peer-to-peer payment system, has created a whole new and expanding set of payment services known as cryptocurrencies. No government established or backs these digital currencies, and no one user has total authority over them. Could this be the primary method of payment for goods and services in the 21st century? It's time to take a closer look at the global cryptocurrency economy, including its history and technological architecture, the many business models that have sprouted up to utilize it, and what the future may hold for this new and possibly revolutionary notion. It's also important to consider the basic stability of cryptocurrencies from a variety of viewpoints, including those of investors and banks, merchants, consumers, and governments. Cryptocurrencies are undeniably a significant and growing part of today's digital economy. The market capitalization of the top 10 cryptocurrencies in the world was roughly $8.69 billion at the time of writing, and it was expanding. But why have so many people put their faith, and, maybe more crucially, their money, in digital currencies that have little or no inherent value and no government backing? However, following the 2008 financial crisis, many in Europe and the United States have lost faith in banks, financial institutions, and governments. This is particularly true among the younger, more tech-savvy cohort. Bitcoin was created by a group of members from this group. The avoidance of utilizing banks or other financial organizations to route money or accept payments is a basic principle of cryptocurrencies. This eliminates the need for banks to serve as third-party guarantors of transactions and restricts governments' capacity to meddle with or control payments. The removal of third-party guarantors from payments has the unintended consequence that the new payment system must be decentralized and trustless. It is much simpler to hide one's identity in such an atmosphere. In fact, refusing to give personal information becomes the norm. Cryptocurrencies have inevitably grown popular with suppliers of illegal items and individuals who like to operate under the guise of anonymity due to their ability to make payments covertly and without government intervention. However, there is a sizable cryptocurrency community that values privacy as a reaction to public skepticism of governments as a consequence of WikiLeaks and Edward Snowden's surveillance revelations. Many people also believe that the internet should be free of government control and that embracing cryptocurrency is one way to express this libertarian viewpoint. Finally, the expansion of cryptocurrencies has been fueled in great part by the activity of speculators who may benefit from the sometimes erratic values that cryptocurrencies show. This climb is awe-inspiring. It's been a little over a decade since a programmer using the cryptic alias Satoshi Nakamoto first appeared on an internet forum, hired a few programmers, and set out to create a revolutionary new digital payment system. No one has ever seen him or talked to him. All contact was done via forum postings and emails, which stopped soon after the debut of Bitcoin. Over the years, there has been a lot of conjecture about his identity. Who is this mysterious man? It's one of the century's greatest mysteries. Early adopters were desperate for momentum at the time, so they practically gave Bitcoins away for free on the internet. Today, Bitcoin is the best performing asset class of the decade, with total gains of over 20 million%, greatly outpacing the Nasdaq 100 stock index, which has only gained 541%. This is unusual, and nothing like it has ever happened before. It's no surprise, therefore, that our collective infatuation with Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, and blockchain is growing by leaps and bounds. Despite all of the excitement, only a few individuals really understand what's going on behind the scenes. What exactly is Bitcoin? How does it operate in practice? What was the purpose of its creation? So, what's the big deal? What does the future hold for us? We make an effort to explain. The majority believe that Bitcoin is digital. Yes, the second most popular answer is that Bitcoin is only available online. True, but the vast majority of the world's currency is digital. Only around 8% of the world's money is really in the form of tangible currency. Another common complaint is that Bitcoin has no backing, that it is not backed by gold or reserves. True, but today's main currencies are not backed by gold or actual assets. Some argue that Bitcoin is decentralized. Yes, but what exactly does it imply?